Fani Willis is the gift that keeps on giving. If Trump could pick any corrupt DA in the United States, this is the one he would pick. Thank you, Fani Willis, for staying on and discrediting this entire indictment of Trump. No one's talking about Trump. We have a brand new tape, a recording of Fani Willis and one of her employees that she is absolutely mentally abusing and destroying. We're going to get into that recording real quick. I got to thank you guys for joining us. Just come hang out. It's going to be fun and funny all day. Give us a subscribe or just watch. It's cool. I'm just glad you're here. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Okay, here's the headline. Fani Willis axed employee who blew the whistle on misuse of federal funds. Holy smokes. Let's just get to a first third of the tape. Boom.
If you had to give me a sentence, what is the sentence theme?
Once I told him about his, respectfully and in an email, about his lack of leadership and the fact that he wanted to do things with grants that were impossible. And I kept telling him, like, we can't do that, and questioning stuff. He would take me off projects, tell people I wasn't doing what I was supposed to because I questioned him.
So this is Amanda Timpson, and they got this grant, and this guy named Cuffy that you'll keep hearing brought up. This is the guy that she had trouble with. He was hired to do their social media for the office. So that's the conflict. Now she's coming to Fani Willis. Fani Willis had undermined all of these complaints already. So Miss Timpson recorded this conversation. That's where it comes from. I'll be reading all of that in these articles. So here's an article from, it was the Washington, she brought the recording and did an interview with the Washington Free Beacon. Embattled Georgia DA has a pattern of ethical violations, abuse of power, and misusing funds, whistleblower says, which we know that now. This is yet another prong opened up against Fani Willis. This gal had her case dismissed, by the way, through a bunch of, corrupt boards, but now it's going to see new light because of Fani Willis's other trouble. U.S. District Judge William Ray agreed with a magistrate judge's recommendations to dismiss a federal case filed by Amanda Timpson. So they've already squashed this woman. She's all by herself. What ally does she have in this corrupt office who had sued Willis individually and the DA's office in general? Less than a year into her tenure as Fulton County District Attorney in 2021, Miss Willis met with Amanda Thompson, an employee in the District Attorney's office responsible for giving nonviolent juvenile offenders, quote, alternatives to the juvenile court system. This is my impression of Miss Timpson. She's a true believer. I mean, she's probably a Democrat. This is a Black diversity hire trying to do good. She really cares about gangs and juvenile trouble. She's there to help. And then Fani Willis comes in and takes a job, and it's corrupt. Wait till you hear where she's pulling money from. It's disgusting. She needs to go to jail. Less than 2 months later, Willis abruptly terminated Timpson and had her escorted out of her office by 7 armed investigators, according to Timpson, when Timpson filed a whistleblower complaint the following year that alleged wrongful termination. Willis's office issued a statement describing Timpson as, quote, a holdover from the prior administration who was terminated because of her failure to meet the standards of the new administration, meaning she's not a scam artist, she's not a grifter. But just notice, Willis has demolished this woman's reputation. My case, and Nathan Wade's, here's Timpson. My case and Nathan Wade's case are very similar when you break them down point by point. Timpson told the Free Beacon, quote, ethical violations, abuse of power, and the misuse of county, state, and federal funds. That's the pattern. And remember, Fani Willis said that we were coming after her because of racism. racism. What about this black woman coming out? What did she just say? Who's helping gangs, and your office is targeting her because she won't misappropriate funds like you and Nathan Wade did. This lady's a true believer. I defend her.
Because I understood. I helped write that grant. I knew what was in that grant. He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're going to get MacBooks. We're going to do that. We're going to get swag. We're going to use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA. There's kids in there from out of the county, all this. Took me off Junior DA. I did not want to do it. He made it look as if I wasn't doing what I needed to do because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing. Period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
When they say really listen to the words I'm saying, what a bullcrap artist. Fani Willis gives her the human resources talk. You know, I hear you. I affirm your words. We've all heard that talk. It means nothing. This woman is almost crying coming to Fani Willis because Mr. Cuffey, every time she comes in and tries to do her job, he demotes her and demotes her. Remember, he's a social media. He's in charge of their social media. And she's actually a worker there to help juvenile delinquents and gang kids to find an alternative to the court system. She's trying to help and she keeps getting demoted. Why? Because she won't spend the money on computers, which later we'll find out none of these grants are allowed to be spent on computers and swag, as Mr. Cuffey put it, and travel. And we all know what DA Fani Willis does with her travel funds, right? She's out there banging Nathan Wade on the county dollars. And this Miss Timpson is trying to help troubled youth. That's the story. But it gets worse. Fani Willis is she's a bureaucrat. This is what liberal bureaucrats do. Liberals, right? The difference between these women. One of them is a leftist apparatchik, that's Fani Willis. And the other woman is really trying to help. And so guess what happens when someone who's really trying to help, even help black gang members, guess what happens to her? If you don't fall in line with the corruption and the grift of the left, you get targeted. Timpson, who joined the Fulton County District Attorney's Office as Director of Gang Prevention and Intervention in 2018, was hopeful that Willis would take the office in a new direction. In December of 2020, Willis named Timpson to her 2021 executive leadership team, a select group of employees tasked with playing a, quote, critical role of changing and rebranding the culture in the district attorney's office because it was known for corruption. Timpson first got the sense that something was awry shortly after Willis assigned Mr. Cuffey, so he's a social media guy, he's supposed to just do internet stuff, to serve as Timpson's direct manager. So she was there from 2018. She hires Cuffey above Timpson, direct manager. By March of 2021, Timpson said Cuffey planned to use part of the $488,000 federal grant earmarked for the creation of a Center of Youth Empowerment and Gang Prevention to pay for swag, computers, and travel. By the way, that even though Fulton County's official position is, we still stand by that grant. It is still being operated under by the rules. That Center for Gang Prevention still remains padlocked, has not opened, is not being used to help the public. Instead of heeding Timpson's warnings that Cuffey's plan was illegal, Cuffey claimed the purchases were part of Willis's quote unquote vision. And in June of 2021, Cuffey removed Miss Timpson from the gang prevention program. That is a knife to the heart because this woman is driven. It's her passion. And he came and just cut her out. It's infuriating. This is the grift. This is what the nice people do. This is what the non-racist Fani Willis does with your money, Fulton County. This is just a money grab for Timpson, said Cuffey. So now she's the whistleblower, wanting to be frugal and appropriate with their funds. And Cuffey comes in and says, this is a money grab for Timpson, who told the Free Beacon, Mr. Cuffey said he left Willis's office in December of 2021 for, quote, personal reasons. She can do what she needs to do.
Cuffey, and this is my personal opinion, to one woman to another, is dangerous to your administration. He tells people, when I reached out to you, he told me, oh, you think your word is safe? Exactly when you reached out to Miss Willis, she called me and told me, she tell me everything. So once you reach out to her, she's going to reach back out to me. So I didn't even go to HR, and he put Dexter's name on my PDP, and I didn't even feel safe going to anybody.
She does not feel safe going to anybody. But by the way, we do have one more clip. She's crying. She won't even go to human resources. She's so terrified. She ought to be. And now she goes to Fani Willis. Remember, Mr. Cuffey said, every time you go to Fani Willis, she comes to me. So don't even bother trying to blow the whistle on this thing. This is corrupt. This is gangsta mafia corruption in Fulton County. And I'm just happy because it's good for Trump. You know what I mean? I think Fulton County is so corrupt, it's probably lost because of how deep this goes. And she's getting, Fani Willis gets help all the way up their judges, all the way up your legal system are defending her. All of the Democrat media defending her. They're hoping we got to cover for her because we have to get Trump. Sometimes you get screwed. Your gang programs, gang members go to prison instead of this help center. That's the cost of doing business, guys. Get in line. Get in line. Miss Timpson is a hero. Now weary of Willis's approach, Miss Timpson brought a recorder with her the second time she warned her boss about alleged financial malfeasance in the office. That's the recording you're hearing now. I knew it was me against the entire office, Timpson said. If I didn't get any hard evidence about what I was saying, everyone was just going to write me off. Well, we believe you, Miss Timpson. We're on your side. We're defending you. You stay strong. You have courage. Quote, I'm 4'11" on my best days. I'm 6'8", so she's a tiny, tiny girl. Timpson told Free Beacon, quote, who is scared of me that you have to walk me out of the building by 7 armed investigators? What's that sound like? That's always what the left does. It's meant to put fear in the other employees that might step out of line. You don't need to get 7 armed people to walk Miss Timpson out of the office, okay? She said, I've never had a warning about any negative behavior that would warrant someone feeling threatened by me. So she simply questioned Mr. Cuffey to Fani Willis. Next thing she knows, she's walked out of the office with 7 armed investigators. Here's our last clip.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 supervisors that have failed in this building. What's interesting to me, because I'm in a learning curve too, they each pretend to have a relationship with me that they do not have. Mm-hmm. I guess that's an intimidation tactic. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry that you felt that way, but Dexter certainly don't have no relationship with right. Michael Cuffey. You were safe to go those places.
Now this is gaslighting. In spite of what you felt, you were safe to go to human resources. What do you think? Was she safe in this office? Are you kidding me? She's probably not even safe to live in the state. And my biggest thing is like Fani Willis does the old, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry your feelings were hurt, as if it's all Miss Timpson's perception. I'm sorry that you are you, is what she's saying. And then here, guys, it's going to keep getting worse. This is another fact brought out. In 2020, The DA's office received a $2 million grant from the Sexual Assault Kit Initiative to help clear the Atlanta Police Department's rape kit backlog. So they get these little kits if someone gets raped. I don't even want to talk about what happens with it, but it's supposed to help rape victims. $2 million. Willis's office has since pulled nearly $13,000 from the grant to purchase computers, which is illegal, and spent an additional $27,000 on airfare, hotels, and car rentals, according to Fulton County records. And we know what she's doing with that. She and Nathan Wade are having them an affair. And let's talk about that in church, that they take money from the rape kits grant and they're buying hotel and travel. Fani Willis, the deeper you dig, this corruption is so deep, it's going to get much worse. And then meanwhile, here's Trump. New York Times, Trump, Georgia case, Nathan Wade settles divorce, avoiding testimony. Fox News, Georgia DA Fani Willis, alleged lover Nathan Wade settles divorce in case. Axios, lead prosecutor in Trump's Georgia case, dodges testimony in Willis allegations. He doesn't have to testify. He went to his ex-wife and paid her off. I wonder where that money came from. Not from Nathan Wade. They got big, I'll bet they got the biggest Democrat money from Biden, Jack Smith, George Soros, and said, pay her off, man. We do not want this woman to press and go public with what she has access to on Nathan Wade. Probably a visit to the White House. I'm dug in exile.